Welcome to Section 4 of Module 1. Now that you understand how to build a study plan, it's time to talk about what happens after you submit your application to the contractor's state license board. Many applicants are caught off guard when they receive letters from CSLB and aren't sure what they mean, whether they're good news or bad, or what action is required. Misunderstanding these communications can delay your application, stall your exam scheduling, or even result in your application being voided. In this lesson, we're going to break down CSLB notifications, specifically acknowledgement letters, so that you know exactly what they are, what they contain, and how to respond to them promptly and correctly. After you submit your application for the B2 Residential Remodeling Contractor License, the CSLB first performs an initial intake review. If your application is filled out correctly and your fee has been processed, CSLB will mail you an acknowledgement letter. This is essentially their confirmation that they've received your application and entered it into their system. The acknowledgement letter usually arrives within 2 to 3 weeks after submission, though this timeline can vary depending on processing backlogs. The letter will include your application tracking number, the date your application was posted, and important next steps you must take to keep the process moving forward. The acknowledgement letter is not an approval of your license. It simply confirms receipt and that your paperwork has moved into review status. The letter also outlines additional requirements that may apply to your case, such as scheduling live scan fingerprinting, submitting missing documentation, or providing further details about your experience. This is the point where many applicants make their first mistake. They assume receiving an acknowledgement means nothing else is needed right away, and they set it aside. The reality is that every CSLB letter should be read carefully, line by line, because it often contains deadlines or requests for information that, if ignored, can cause serious delays or even lead to your application being rejected. One of the most common follow-up instructions in an acknowledgement letter is to complete fingerprinting as soon as possible. CSLB cannot issue you an exam date until your fingerprints are processed by both the California Department of Justice and the FBI. Delays in completing this step are one of the top reasons applications take longer than expected. Similarly, the letter may request clarifications or supporting documents for your work experience. If what you wrote on your application is too vague, CSLB staff may ask for additional information, such as project descriptions, dates, or the names of verifiers. Responding quickly and thoroughly to these requests keeps your application moving and demonstrates that you're organized and serious about licensure. It's also important to check for errors on the acknowledgement letter. Occasionally, CSLB may enter your information incorrectly, such as a misspelled name or an incorrect classification designation. If you notice any mistakes, you should contact CSLB immediately to have them corrected. These errors can cause problems later when scheduling exams, issuing your license, or matching your fingerprint results. Another key point to understand is that acknowledgement letters are just one type of CSLB communication you'll receive during this process. Later, you'll get exam notices with scheduling information, test results, and instructions for completing final steps after you pass. Each letter has time-sensitive information, and missing a deadline, even accidentally, can mean having to start the process over and pay new fees. Keep all CSLB correspondence in a dedicated folder, both physical and digital, and set calendar reminders for every date mentioned in the letters you receive. Ultimately, acknowledgement letters are your first sign that CSLB has accepted your application into the processing queue. They are not an approval or guarantee of licensure, but they are a critical part of tracking your progress and understanding what the board expects of you next. Treat every CSLB letter as a priority, read it carefully, and respond immediately to any requests or instructions. Doing so will keep your application on track and help you avoid unnecessary delays in reaching the exam stage. In the next section, we'll discuss how to prepare for test day once your exam date is scheduled, including what to bring, what to expect at the testing center, and how to manage your time and nerves during the exams.